The Proposal is a brilliant film. I'd seen this before a long, long time ago when I was binge watching Sandra Bullock films, but I'm currently watching every Betty White film and I realised I'd never reviewed this, so it gave me the great opportunity to rewatch it, and I'm glad I did because it's pretty brilliant. This was released in 2009. It's directed by Anne Fletcher, it's written by Peter Chiarelli, with a cast including, of course, Sandra Bullock. We also have Ryan Reynolds, we have Mary Steenburgen, Craig T. Nelson, Oscar Nunez, Betty White. Fabulous, fabulous cast. And the story is pretty great. And I'd seen it before, as I said, a long time ago, but I couldn't remember the specifics. My memory is terrible. It works really well in my favour when I'm rewatching films. So I wasn't sure exactly how the narrative would play out, and I was rather keen to find out. Margaret is about to be deported to Canada, so she tries to convince her assistant Andrew to marry her. And I was genuinely invested from the very beginning. And the pacing is fantastic. We do get to the point very, very quickly. We also learn very quickly that Margaret is maybe not the nicest individual. And Andrew, on the flip side, seems very nice. So it's an awkward pairing. Will they get married? Will Andrew go through with it? Will Margaret be deported? I'm not going to answer any of those questions, of course, but I was very keen to find out what would happen. I'm basically 100% against green card marriages, so I didn't want them to get married, but at the same time, I didn't necessarily want Margaret to be deported, so I really had no idea what I wanted from this. I had my suspicions on what might happen, but I'm not going to say whether or not I was right, but I certainly enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the journey of finding out. It's a really solid narrative, and we have some great character writing. Does Margaret ever become likeable? Yes, I'd say she does, but it does take time. But even when she's unlikable, she's still great to watch. And yeah, I think that's probably largely because of Sandra Bullock and also because of some really great on-screen chemistry. So even though she's unlikable, she's not irritating. I can stand to look at her, more than stand to look at her. So the character writing there is great. There are some films, none that come to mind actually. Actually, that's not true. I watched a film recently, called Maternal Instincts, where the protagonist was just so badly written, the film was almost impossible to watch. But there are some films where the protagonist is unlikable, they're on a character journey, and they're just so irritating, it makes the film difficult to watch, and thankfully they actually found a really, really nice balance here. The Maternal Instincts I mentioned was from 1996. I just want to specify the year in case there's another Maternal Instincts out there, and I don't want to be bad-mouthing the character writing for a completely different film. So yeah, I was really, really impressed with the character writing for Margaret, as they managed to get a really good balance there of making her clearly a difficult individual to be around, but still being watchable. And Andrew, very likeable, absolutely no problems with his character at all. Either really great performances and great on-screen chemistry. The dynamic between the leads is really enjoyable to watch. We also have great supporting characters and a really, really solid cast there. The narrative itself has a lot of variety in it. It's really fun. It's quite amusing. Stunning to look at. Really stunning to look at. We have some gorgeous outdoor locations, great camera work and lighting. We also have some good music. Occasionally some of the music wasn't to my liking, but in general the music was not too bad. And I'd say The Proposal is ultimately a really fun, entertaining film, and I'd be happy to watch it, well, a third time. I might do at some point, maybe in another 10, 15 years I'll watch it again, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's certainly a film that I'm happy to recommend.